Yesterday, I finished reading The Spinster's Christmas, which is a prequel to the Lady Wynwood's Spies. Hello, Calypso. So we meet three of our people that we have in the series. It starts off with Lady Wynwood and Sol, Mr. Drysdale, heading to a Lady Wynwood's family Christmas celebrations. And but then we switch over to the point of view of Miranda and Gerard. By point of view, I mean second person, I think. Basically, we get an omniscient view of one person's point of view. So Miranda is a poor relation. She is a cousin. I'm still trying to figure out the family relation, but I'm not sure exactly. But she's a cousin of some sort. Her and Gerard are about the same age. They were kids together. Cousins somewhere in the line. So Miranda, her parents basically went bankrupt, and Cecil, whose home is hosting everybody for the Christmas holidays, is basically had to pay off all those debts and everything that her parents got into. Her parents never really treated her well. They kind of let it be known that they didn't really like their daughter very much. Because Miranda, she's described constantly as she's a little blunt, definitely doesn't think like other people think. So Cecil has taken stewardship, I guess you could say, of Miranda and everything. However, Felicity, Cecil's wife, treats her like a servant. So she's basically a servant, but not a servant. But Felicity, using the whole gratitude thing, basically forces Miranda into kind of a subservient position, into a serving position. And the big threat is that after the 12th night, Miranda will be going to Felicity's cousin, Mr. Beatty's house. And the rumors of Mr. Beatty say that he's the type of master who messes with the staff. So they've lost several governesses because he either gets them pregnant or they may not do what he wants and therefore gets them fired, whatever. Not a good situation to send her into. Felicity is not going to have it, though. She's going to send Miranda there because she doesn't like Miranda because she's a poor relation. Gerard was given honorable release from the Navy, the Royal Navy, because he ended up injuring his knee really bad to the point where he had to be on crutches, and now he's using a cane and still flares up. His mom's acting kind of resentful that she has to take care of him. He has some property not too far away from his mom's house. So as Gerard and his parents are heading to Cecil's house, they come across Miranda walking back to the house. They pick her up. Now, Gerard's parents are acting kind of like it's a boon to pick her up. I get boon and bane mixed up a lot. It is a bane to pick her up. They're acting like they shouldn't be doing this and they don't want to do this. And Gerard doesn't understand what the deal is. He learns when they get to the house. But it makes him mad because why is family being treated this way? As like less than servants. So anyway, we find out that Miranda has had feelings for Gerard pretty much since you start developing feelings for someone. Whatever age that is that you go through those, developing crushes and such. So she's working hard not to because she always feels like she's not seen by anybody, and She's not wanted by anybody, but she's really good at masking, putting on a brave face, and pretending that nothing bothers her. So throughout this entire celebrations, and I was thinking, I was like, holy cow, I mean, it's a few days before Christmas and going on to New Year's holiday, and it's just celebration, celebration, celebration. That would be exhausting to me. So Gerard can't do what the other men do because of his knee. So when the ladies are out picking greenery for the decorations, he goes out with them. Miranda's got Ellie in tow. Ellie is a little girl who's become the ward of Cecil after her parents died. And her grandfather couldn't take her because it was just too much. So it has been said that they convinced Cecil to let Gerard's parents take Ellie because she'll have plenty of children her age to go play with in the neighborhood. And so he allows that. Gerard thought, why don't we send Miranda with her until Ellie gets used to you, Mom. And they're not okay with that because I guess it would be improper to have an unmarried male and an unmarried female in the same house together or in the same property together. That was the decision that his mom used anyway. Lady Wynwood was like, you know what, this sounds like a good plan. And then Miranda, after a couple weeks of there, I'll just come get you and you'll hang out with me. Can't right now because I'm at somebody else's house. So they're trying to find a way to get Miranda away from the situation of becoming a governess for Mr. Beatty and possibly being sexually abused. So they're out picking boughs to decorate the house with, and Miranda gets attacked by a cloaked woman. Ellie is with Gerard, but they see what's going on, and they go off to help her, and the woman attacks Ellie and Gerard and then takes off. And so nobody's caught a glimpse of her face at all. They don't know what that was about, but Gerard kind of injures his knee again a little bit. At another celebration, Miranda and Gerard end up going out into the garden, and that's where the first kiss happens. And they get attacked again by a couple of men that come into the garden and just attack Gerard and try to put a bag over Miranda's head. Nope, that wasn't at that point yet. But they're being attacked and they injure his knee even further. So now he's back to using crutches. So it turns out that Gerard is a cousin to Michael Colton Jones. So he calls him in to help find out why these people are attacking him. And the family is out ice skating. Gerard sits on a bench at the very north end of the lake, kind of as bait, because they think he's after him. Something about being in the war. They think it's not the case. And Miranda figures it out a little bit later on. But most of the people have gone home. They're looking for Paul, one of the kids who has gone missing. So Miranda says, well, I think he might be at the fort that they built earlier in the day. It's not too far away, but it's in the woods. So they start heading to the woods. Then they get attacked again. And this time Michael's there to help out in the attack, but then Michael takes off because he of the great disguises, Michael. Soul comes at that point as well to find out what's going on and to try and find the people that are attacking them. They don't know who it is still, but they're trying to figure out, Miranda, is there anybody who would want you dead or whatnot? And then at one point, she sees one of the servants who shouldn't have been anywhere near Cecil's room, acting like she was trying to get into Cecil's room. Miranda sees her. And so it's a conversation between her and Miranda. Her name is Jean. And Miranda's like, well, I can just tell them that you were in this room and you shouldn't have been in this room. And she's like, oh, sure, you're really good at getting people fired. ask me how I know, and Miranda realizes that there's only one person who she got fired on purpose, and nobody else would have known about it unless that person had told this person. So what happened when Miranda was 5 years old, I think it said? Her parents had hired a governess for her who was abusive to her, and she was able to get away with it by telling her parents that Miranda was just a really active child who wasn't very graceful. So that explained all the bruises and everything. Well, Miranda's mother's diamond bracelet went missing one time. Miranda found it in the bushes where it must have fallen off her mother while she was out in the garden. So she picks it up and she hides it in her old governess's things. Hey, baby. And then one of the maids finds it and basically tells on her, and so she gets sacked for thievery, and she has no reputation left, and so she couldn't get a job anywhere else. Fell in hard times and whatnot. But Miranda's like, it can't be her because I heard that she, got sick and died because she was forced into prostitution because she couldn't get a job anywhere. So it comes out to play. Michael has taken up place as disguised as part of the staff to help out. Gerard has realized he's fallen in love with Miranda, and he proposes to her. She rejects him, and she finds the best way to hurt him, which is by calling him a cripple and telling him that she would never want a cripple to take care of her. Because she thinks that he is just doing this as a pity thing, because she's Miranda, and she doesn't have a whole lot of self-confidence in that way. I know. Yeah. Anyway, so a little bit later, she's looking for Ellie. She can't find Ellie anywhere. Jean, the servant, comes up to her and says, I know where Ellie is, and you need to come with me if you don't want her to be hurt. So she has to get her stuff, her cloak and her mittens and such, and follow Jean to where Ellie is. And it turns out that her old governess, whose name is Harriet, has taken Ellie and is holding her hostage so that they can exchange her for Miranda. And they start taking Miranda to London, and they're going to throw her in the part of society that Harriet had to deal with before they kill her. So Harriet's got a gun. But at one point, Miranda was able to escape the carriage and run into the woods. And she ends up climbing a tree. And she's just kind of watching for them. They're pursuing her. Harriet is underneath her, and she sees that Harriet has a gun. In the meantime, Gerard's back at the house, and he sees Michael hurrying up the drive with Ellie in his arms. And then Sol comes down the stairs, wondering what Gerard is rushing to the door for. So Michael hands off Ellie to Lady Wynwood. Sol, Michael, and Gerard go after the carriage with their own little... with their own horses. And when they find the broken down carriage on the road, they hear a gunshot in the woods. So they go after him, and Gerard refuses to be left behind because of his knee, so he gets on a horse that he hasn't ridden since before he even went in the Navy. So he gets on the horse, and he goes to look for Miranda, and they basically see Harriet start to climb a tree where Miranda is. Miranda's trying to get down, and Gerard goes under the tree with his horse, and he just tells her to jump. And so she jumps. He catches her. Harriet either jumped or fell from the tree, but she was a high enough height where the minute she dropped, she was dead. So Harriet actually is dead this time, and they capture the 2 guys that she had with them, and they take them to the constables, get them taken care of, tell them about the body that's in the woods. And so it's a happily ever after. Gerard takes Miranda and once again asks her to marry him, and she agrees this time. And it's happily ever after. Meanwhile, the main series is still going on, and there's a book that I just pre-ordered that I think I have now. Maybe it's pre-ordered for next, I don't know. Anyway, I think there's supposed to be 8 total books in this series, and yeah, it's still going on. But I really liked this one. This was a really cute story, really fast read. And that is The Spinster's Christmas by Camille Elliot.